Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny video. My name's Mark. I own and run the Purple Penny along with my wife Catherine. We try to do these videos every Monday. We didn't do it last Monday because it was Adelaide Cup Day here in Adelaide and we decided to have the day off. The Purple Penny is a coin and banknote dealer in the northern suburbs of Adelaide. We've been here for about 5 years in May. We buy and sell coins, banknotes, collectibles, and anything interesting. If you've ever been in here, you'll see the top shelf of our display has a whole pile of interesting ephemera, and we're kind of interested in anything that would enhance that display. If you do have anything interesting and you've seen our top shelf display here and you feel like you have anything that would add to it, feel free to bring it in so we can take a look at it. Now, what has happened this week? Let me think. Last week was busy. Look, I'll be honest with you, things have slowed down a little bit this year. I do feel like the Mint's way of distributing coins this year has driven off a lot of the people who perhaps were artificially inflating the heat in the market. And there's no doubt that things have slowed down a little bit, but we're still very busy. We did a lot of buying last week and a lot of buying the week before. In fact, we've been buying a lot, and do keep an eye on our website because we do pop up a whole bunch of new inventory on our website every week. Usually on Monday and Tuesday it gets up, and you'll see coins and banknotes, older coins and banknotes pop up on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then during the week you'll see the newer material, newer mint products pop up sort of during the day as Catherine manages to find some time in the day to do that. Right, let's have a bit of a look at who's saying hello here. Hello Peter, Antonius, Greg, Michelle, Alex, Bevan, Damien, Ray, Adam, Nelson, John, Charles, Samantha, Daryl. There's quite a few regulars there. Oh, hello. Hang on. We've just got Ace here. Ace is our new Ace. Yeah. Just try and point the camera down a little bit. Might be a bit hard to see him. Ace, sit. Yeah, look. Might be a little bit hard to see him because he is a black dog. No, we're not going to be able to see him. Ace is a black dog. He's a trainee guide dog, and he's just down here next to me now. If you're in here on a Saturday, please make sure to say hello to Ace after you ask us if it's okay if you say hello. I won't ask him to get up into my lap because that's not an appropriate guide dog thing to do. He's spending the day with us today because his trainer has gone on holidays. So he's spending the day here in the shop with us. Not sure that we'll be able to... Oh, there he is. There he is.
There you are.
There he is. So as you can see, he's very happy, he's very dark, he's very well behaved, and he's settled into the house very well. We've had him for 4 weeks on Wednesday, I think, so he's a new addition to the family. So thank you, Catherine, for bringing Ace in there. Right, let's jump into the news. There we go. 35th anniversary sets. Peter Andrews, who is watching, has very kindly supplied me with another graph of the sales results on eBay of the 35th anniversary sets, and I do feel like the 35th anniversary sets are the first indication that the Mint has sorted out their distribution issues, because the prices of these did not, they took off as you'd expect on the day or a few days afterwards, but they have not sustained that price. The price has slowly dropped on these sets, and that's because the Mint made them available through as many channels as possible, obviously through the shop in Canberra, through the wholesale network, through dealers like us, and the first attempt at their EQL ballot, and that really distributed many thousands of sets, I believe. And by restricting access to the sets from I guess groups of resellers who drive up market prices between themselves has stopped that price from being driven up and has kept a lot of the hype out of the market. So kudos to the Mint for that. Let's just have a look at what the graph is looking like this week. Thank you, Peter, for doing this. You can see there that it is continuing to drop the price of those 35th anniversary sets. There has been sales in there at well under $300, between the $250 and $300. We bought a few of these sets a few weeks ago, and they're sitting in our front cabinet here, I believe, for $280, which they've been selling steadily. I don't think that they've been flying out the door. Remember, the release price was $230. So they are not showing much profit there for the people that are selling these things on, and the price continues to drop a little bit. Interestingly, Peter did say that someone had rolled the 35th anniversary set coin, so they've rolled 25 of these sets into Cotton & Co. or Imperial rolls, so that's a pretty big investment. So for that person there. Right, Catherine says Ace is 14 months. He's a big baby. He's just about the youngest one that we've had. He's in the guide dog program, and he is super cuddly and affectionate, and I don't recall a dog, I know I'll probably say this about all the dogs, I don't recall a dog that has settled into our house as quickly as what Ace has. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely dog. Right. There is a release this Thursday. It's the the Mint Mark Suite. So the Mint Mark Suite is usually released in January. Of course, the Mint Mark dollar, you can mint your own at the Mint and have been able to since New Year's Day. But the regular Privy Mark sets, the silver proof and the gold proofs, are being released this Thursday. You can see the details there. The Mint Mark Privy Mark set has a supposedly unlimited mintage, $33. It's a 4-coin set. The silver proof, which is a 25mm coin in fine silver, 5,000 mintage, release price is $60. And the gold proof, 2024 of those being minted, release price of that is $385. They are all being made available via the EQL ballot. There is another product being released on the same day that we do not get access to, and that's the loot bag. In the past, the loot bag includes some collectibles and a set of circulating coins. We don't know what's in the loot bag this year. Anyone who is in Canberra on release day and gets their hands on a loot bag, we'd love to see some pictures of what's in there. So if you want to send us those via email or via Facebook message, Catherine and I would love to see what is in those loot bag sets. Chances are we will have some of this stuff available for purchase over the counter on the Thursday, probably just the Mint Mark and Privy Mark sets. We're not at the moment planning on mailing any of this stuff out because we just didn't get enough of it. Now, next item in the news here is the Lunar release wrap-up. Wasn't last Thursday, it was the Thursday before. There was the release of the yearly Lunar coins. We sold out of everything on the day. Again, the Lunar 50-cent pieces are supposedly unlimited mintage, but we only got a small number of those. They all sold out on the day. The silver proofs domed ones sold out as well, and of course you probably all know by now that their $2 coin set, the dollar coins have toned, and Catherine and I did have a chat about this, and I think that we think together the toning on the dollar coins and the fact that the set is still using, in fact all the coins are still using the portraits of the Queen, suggests that perhaps the Mint minted these several months ago and they've been sitting around toning in the cardboard since that time. Of course that's just speculation on our behalf, but you would think that they've certainly been minted before the decision was made on the portrait of the King. Otherwise they would use the portrait of the King rather than that of the past Queen. Thank you to the gentleman who sent me this story here, which is just regarding ARMG Guard, and the fact that they are on the brink of insolvency. They merged last year, I believe, with Prosegur, so they're now really the only cash distribution business in Australia, or the only large one. And the declining use of cash is making deliveries for cash unprofitable, and obviously the banks have an obligation to still make cash available to the Australian public, because 25% of Australians have said to the RBA that the lack of cash will cause them severe hardship, so the banks have an obligation to provide us with cash. Of course, that isn't legislated here in Australia, it's legislated in the UK. I suspect that here in Australia, legislation to ensure the supply of cash is just a matter of time. But it's looking like the banks are going to get together and cash flow ARMG Guard to ensure that cash will still be delivered to the regions especially. And apparently by the end of March we will expect a statement from the banks about a contingency for what happens if ARMG Guard fails as a business, what the banks are going to do to ensure cash supply. And just an interesting little statistic here, the last bank in the northern Australian town of Coober Pedy closed several months ago. And of course Coober Pedy is an opal mining town, and there's a lot of cash business going on up there. And right now Australia Post is spending $4,000 a week flying cash into Coober Pedy, because at the moment Australia Post is the only way of getting cash in Coober Pedy. So they're spending $4,000 a week on shipping cash up to Coober Pedy, so not an inexpensive exercise there. Let's have a look, see if we've got any comments. So Peter and a couple of other people saying there's no coins in the loot bag. Thank you, Peter. Peter says, it beggars the question how they got 25 sets. Well, Peter, I guess you could just jump onto eBay and buy 25 sets right now, as long as you're happy to pay $320 each. Hello Shane, hello Brett. Peter says there's no coins in the loot bag. Michelle says there's no coins in the loot bag. Hello another Peter. Hello Paul, and so on. Right, next item here. This popped up on my BBC news feed this week, and I thought it was kind of cute. An artist in the UK, Yvonne Jack, who specialises in miniature art, was at an art show several months ago and got asked by someone at the art show if she could paint on pennies. So this is a new thing that this English artist Yvonne Jack has taken up, and she's painted on British pennies various landmarks and landscapes and statues and portraits and things like that on pennies, so just the English pennies, which are the same size as ours. And she says that she really enjoys doing it as long as it's a topic that she's interested in, and it happens to be that the first thing that she painted on a penny was some Star Wars characters, Darth Vader and C-3PO, I believe, and she said she really enjoyed it, and it's gone on from there. She got featured on the BBC this week, and her pennies have been displayed at the Royal Miniature Society's annual exhibition. You can see a URL to her website there where you can buy some of these pennies. Quite cute little pieces of art. You might remember a couple of months ago that a anonymous person down in Adelaide, in South Australia's southeast, sent us some painted pennies as well. So beautiful little bits of art and ways of keeping, I guess, old and essentially worthless coins alive to the general public. New Zealand has come out and announced this week, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has come out and announced this week that they're going to use the same portrait on their coins as Australia, the portrait as sculpted by Royal Mint designer Dan Thorne. They'll be available almost immediately in 2024 proof sets, which are distributed by New Zealand Post. But they don't expect the first circulation coins to be minted until 2025, and the New Zealand public probably won't see the coins in their change until 2027. Now what does that say? It says that the New Zealand Reserve Bank has a big stockpile of coins already, and that perhaps the New Zealand economy is quite stagnant and there's no call for new coins. So even though they have gone the same way as Australia using the same portrait, the New Zealand public won't see those coins for at least another 3 years, which is quite a bit of time. Of course, in the meantime, coins with the portraits of the Queen on them will continue to circulate, and the Reserve Bank has no plans to remove those from circulation. If you've been watching these videos for a while, you might remember me talking about this about 3 years ago now, believe it or not, about the Trevi Fountain in Rome. The Trevi Fountain is a picturesque landmark in Rome, and I'm sure that from that picture there you would recognise it. It's been in many movies, it's always featured on tourist shows, Getaway and things like that, and tourists throw money into it. How much money do they throw into it? They throw €3,000 worth of coins into it a day, and the coins are removed from the fountain by the Rome City Council twice a week, and the entire fountain is drained once a fortnight, and the money is donated to a local charity, a Catholic charity called Caritas, and there's about €1.4 million that Caritas donates to the poor of Rome. They've actually constructed specialised vacuum cleaners to suck up the coins out of the fountain, and of course it's not just coins that they pull out of the fountain. They've pulled out jewellery and watches and various other disgusting things that I won't mention, but it is pretty big business there, and a lot of the poor in Rome are benefiting from the tourists throwing money in that fountain. Right, where are we at with the news here? I think that's it for the news for today. Now, I will just give a shout out to Armando, who has sent me a few emails in the last couple of weeks with suggested topics. I haven't actually spoken about anything that he's asked about yet, but hello Armando, thank you for watching. I believe he watches later on YouTube. I thought today, because it has been particularly frustrating in here in the last few weeks with the phone calls that we've been getting, and yes, we're talking about HH $2 coins. The very first phone call we got today was about a HH $2 coin. You might have noticed a 9 News article that popped up last week about a clipped 20-cent piece that Wynyard Coins in Sydney was selling. It was a 1974 20 cent, and we instantly received a whole bunch of phone calls from people who had 1974 20-cent pieces wanting to bring them in and sell them. So I thought what I would do is just revisit our dealer FAQ, our commonly asked questions here in the shop, and what our answers are. And I will attempt to give you some recent stories on each one of these, and by recent I mean pretty much in the last week. Number one, why is our gold and silver so expensive? The reason why our gold and silver is so expensive is because we sell it in Australian dollars and not US dollars. If you watch the nightly news on TV, or read the finance section in the paper, or get your information online via an Australian news website, the chances are is that they are reporting on gold and silver prices in US dollars. Why do they do that? I have no idea. Can you buy gold in Australia in US dollars? No, you have to pay in Australian dollars. So as a consequence, at the moment, gold is pretty much at an all-time high of about 2,120 US dollars, which happens to be about $3,300 Australian, and that's an all-time high. And what happened in here last week, I believe it was last Thursday, I bought some sovereigns over the counter, and someone was standing there watching me do it, and he didn't hear what I paid for them, but I can tell you what I paid for them. I paid $772 each for them. But he came up to me afterwards and he said, I bet you wouldn't pay more than $500 for a sovereign. And I went, oh, well, why do you say that? And he said, oh, because I sold some and I got $490 each this week. And I said to him, well, unfortunately, you've sold them for the US dollar price in gold and not the Australian dollar price in gold, because today we would be paying about $770 each for them. And of course he went white and left the store very quickly. So if you are going to sell gold or silver, make yourself aware of the fact that the price of gold in Australia is in Australian dollars and not US dollars, and that gentleman did himself out of almost $280 per gold sovereign. I don't know how many he sold and who he sold them to, but just a little bit of due diligence, he would have done himself a favour. Next one, is my insert coin name here a specimen or proof? We get this question a lot, and it's always in relation to usually mangy old pennies, because people find mangy old pennies all the time. They're still the most common coin that we see in here. And of course, they jump online and look up their 1944Y penny, and the first thing that pops up is perhaps a sale for a proof penny on Coinworks or Downies or something like that, and they do automatically assume then that that's what they've got. They've got one of those. Last week we had a gentleman come in here with a 1944Y penny. It had been cleaned harshly and in acid and was ruined, and he handed it across to me and said, "What would you pay me for that?" I looked at it and handed it back to him and said I wouldn't buy it, and he said, "Oh, but it's valuable." Why, I ask, and he says, "Oh, because it's a proof." And of course, then on Catherine's suggestion, and it was a great suggestion, she asked me to show the gentleman our coin catalogue. 1944Y pennies, they minted over 20 million of them. Proofs, perhaps a handful. The chances that this gentleman has a proof, of course, are zero. So, if you do find an old coin, the chances are it's worth nothing, and you shouldn't get your hopes up by Googling and finding huge values on what are essentially common coins. Patrick says, are coin identifiers apps worth downloading, and do they work properly? Patrick, I think they do a fairly good job of identifying the coin, and they do a ridiculously, hilariously terrible job of grading and valuing the coin. So while they are okay to help you identify a coin, they are, I won't say useless, they are actually harmful when it comes to grading and valuing coins, because they are so hilariously wrong and hilariously bad. I would not spend a cent on a coin identifier app, because at the end of the day you can get pretty much the same information by using Google Lens on an Android phone, and I believe there's an equivalent function on Apple phones. If someone here has an iPhone, they can perhaps just tell us if there's an equivalent to Google Lens on iPhones. Next question. XX website says my coin is worth many, many dollars. Now, and I don't hold people to blame here for this sort of stuff, because if you do go and Google 1988 bicentenary 50-cent piece, then often the Google results you see start with eBay listings, and the eBay listings often include people asking several $1,000s for the coins, and then they tend to go into the 1988 coat of arms mule, which is worth several $1,000s. And I don't blame people for Googling those things and then thinking instantly that their coin's worth money, but if you come in here and you've got your 1988 bicentenary 50-cent piece and you tell me it's worth money, we'll tell you it's not, and that you should just go and spend it, and explain why. And if you choose not to listen to what we say, that's fine. A usual suggestion then is that they contact the authors of said articles that say that bicentenary 50-cent pieces are worth huge amounts of money, or eBay sellers, and see if they'll buy them off of you. And I guess you come in here for an expert opinion, and if you don't like the opinion, then you can reach out to the people on the internet that are telling you different. Now, I'm just getting started. What's a good investment? My answer to that is I have no idea, because if I knew that, then I wouldn't need a coin shop. I'd just invest in whatever coins that were always going to go up in value. So I have no idea what is a good investment. In my own collecting habits, I pay it no mind at all. I give no regard to what the future value of things will be. If I'm going to buy something for my own collection, I set myself an upper price. If I buy it for that, then I'm happy. If I miss out, then I move on with my life. when it comes time to get rid of my collection, it will sell for whatever it sells for. I'm not going to not sell things because I'm going to lose money on them. I really enjoy my collecting. I enjoy owning the items that I collect. I enjoy looking at them. I enjoy writing about them. And when it comes time to get rid of them, I will be grateful that they have some residual value. But you know what? I've got my value out of them by owning them and enjoying them. So what is a good investment? No idea. If you want to talk about investments, go and talk to a financial advisor. The Purple Penny is a hobby shop, and we sell collectibles and hobby items and accessories and things like that. We're not an investment shop. And if what is Peter here said something interesting. He said a good investment for a coin collector is 10 plus years of experience. That's a good answer there, Peter. And you know, I've got 10 plus years of experience, and I don't have the faintest idea what a good investment is in the coin market. I really have no idea. If you're going to bring a collection in here, should you sort it or clean it before you bring it in? Well, you obviously shouldn't clean it, because of course cleaning coins is a no-no as far as coin collectors are concerned. There are different thoughts in other hobbies about cleaning things, and that's fine because those are other hobbies. But in the coin collecting world, then you don't clean things, and that's it. And if you're got a collection that you're wanting to sell and you think you know better by cleaning it, you don't. You will lose money by cleaning your coins, and you'll waste your time. And that's what we say to people here. If you clean common date coins, you're wasting your time, because we'll pay you the same anyway. If you clean coins that have numismatic value, then you are throwing money away. The story that we tell here, and I do apologise if you've heard this story many times before, was the lady who rang us up one day, and she said, I have some old pennies. We told her that we'd be interested in them. She just needs to bring them in, not to clean them, just leave them the way they are. So she appeared the next morning, and there was a little handful of pennies there, and every single one of them had been soaked in something acidic. And there was a beautiful uncirculated 1920 penny there, which had also been soaked in something acidic. It is here in the shop somewhere. I'll take a picture of it one day. And I said to her, these have all been cleaned. And she said, yes. And I said, but you told me they hadn't been cleaned. And she said, yeah, I cleaned them last night. But I thought we told you not to clean them. And she said, yeah, but I think I know better than you. So I just stood there and looked at her, and I didn't really know what to say. So we bought her little handful of pennies for $1 or something, and of course she has done herself out of probably $1,000. That 1920 penny would have been worth $1,000 if she'd just left it the way it was. And of course she decided to not listen and clean it. Now, with regards to sorting, my usual response to people who want to sort things out is, if you enjoy sorting things out, then by all means sort your collection out, sort it into bags and years and decades and things like that, and do whatever you like, because at the end of the day it is your collection. But do you have to sort it before you bring it in here? No. And a lot of times it slows us down when you sort out a collection, because the first thing we do when we're inspecting a collection is take it all out of the bags. So if you do have a collection to sell, just leave it the way it is and bring it in here, and we'll put it on the counter and we'll sort through it with you and tell you what we're seeing, and move on from there. Last one is something that has been really to the fore this year, and I can remember the day that we opened this year, how many phone calls and people we had bringing in the change out of their pocket. And usually the phone call goes along the line something like, I've been collecting coins. Okay, that's great. I hope you're enjoying it. What sort of coins do you collect? I collect the 50-cent pieces with all the different pictures on them. Oh, okay. Do you collect the ones in packaging from the mint, or do you just collect them out of change? Oh, I just collect them out of change. Well, we don't buy that. Oh, what do you mean we don't buy it? It's valuable. No, it's not. oh, but the internet tells me it's valuable, and of course it isn't. It isn't. And you know, and you can move that along to people who tell us they've got old coins and they want to sell their old coins, and when you get talking to them, you find out their old coins are from 2006, and of course they aren't old. And while we're always happy to look through coins with people, if they come in here into the shop, we will, you know, tell you that if you're bringing in your piggy bank of change and you're probably wasting your time. And similarly, if you do come in here, we will look through it with you, but you have to understand that we have a business to run, and we can't stand at the counter for an hour looking through $1,000 worth of 50-cent pieces, with you showing them to us one at a time, saying, is this valuable, is this valuable, is this valuable? That's just not how it works. We don't, unfortunately, have the time to do that. So while, you know, every now and again someone on the phone gets upset with us because we don't, I won't say we discourage people to bring the stuff in, we just say, look, you're probably wasting your time. We're trying to save you a drive and save you some time for stuff that you should just go and spend or put in the bank. Right, that's it. That's it for my whinging for today. Now let's have a look and see if there's comment. Thank you for the birthday wishes, and thank you, Peter, for sharing that information for everyone. It's really appreciated. I turned 53 on Friday, and thank you to Catherine for actually giving me a very special birthday on Friday. She gave me probably the best birthday present I've ever got, which was a photo of my two kids. She recreated a photo that was taken about 15 years ago when they were both small kids, and she got them to recreate it for me, and they're now 18 and 21, so it was a very, very unexpected gift. So thank you, Catherine, and thank you everyone for your birthday wishes there. Now, be careful this week with the release. Of course, the EQL release is happening on Wednesday. Do be aware of the shipping delays on those. They aren't shipped out straight away. Do be aware that there are separate shipping charges for each item from the mint. And remember, it's all fun, and we want to collect because it's enjoyable rather than just to make money out of it. Next week will be the 25th, which will be the last Monday of the month. So if you have any questions that you want to address, we usually do a live question and answer session on the last Monday of the month. If you have any questions, please email them through to me or send me a Facebook message or give me a call, whatever it is that you want to do, and we'll address those next week in the video. Thank you to Peter for your help with the video today and your help with the video every week. Peter is the author of the Independent Coin News, an online magazine that he publishes bi-monthly. It is without a doubt the best thing going on in coin collecting, publishing at the moment, and I did enjoy the last issue very much and had several questions for Peter. So go and do a quick search for Independent Coin News and subscribe to that free online coin magazine. It is free, and as I said, it is the best thing going on in coin publishing in Australia at the moment. Thank you everyone for taking part. Sorry for having a week off last week, but it was public holiday. We won't be having a video on Easter Monday either, so prepare yourself for that. I know that I did get a few messages through YouTube wondering if I died. I haven't, I'm still here, but we do have a day off from time to time. That's it everyone, have a great day, have a great week. Can't wait for the heat to break here in Adelaide. It's been a terrible 3 weeks. Happy collecting. If you do come here into the shop, make sure that you tell us if you watch the videos. We always like to know who's watching. And stay safe, happy collecting, and remember to smile. Bye everyone, see you next time.